All right, so we got cold steel day. We've got a cold steel Voyager versus cold steel Ultimate Hunter. Get these bad boys matched up a little bit. Been kind of looking forward to this one because this is one of my favorite cold steel knives. And I'd say ounce for ounce, dollar for dollar, it's definitely up for best knife on the market. And this is no slacker either. Or slouch, I should say. That's no slouch either. All right, so we'll go through some specs real quick. It's not apples to apples or one-to-one comparison here, but they're cold steels. I don't think I'll ruffle any feathers with this one. Can't go wrong with either one. And they might match up. So the Ultimate Hunter here got a blade length of 3.5 inches. Drop point. Handle length of 5 inches. Handle thickness of 62 hundredths. So it's nice and thick. Good field knife. I think that's about it. 4.9 ounces. Okay, it's the Voyager. We got a handle length of 5 1/4, so a 1/4 inch longer. 4-inch blade, so 1/2 inch longer on the blade. 1300s blade stock, according to Blade HQ for all these numbers. Dual thumb studs on both knives. 6400s, so 200ths thicker than that Ultimate Hunter, so not much. Carpenter BD1 steel. Now they come in AUS 10A, I believe, but this is on the OGs. Or they're probably AUS 8 for a while, and then they went on these ones. They probably went to Carpenter BD1. Okay, and of course this is S35. Both of them made in Taiwan, and we can notice that two different eras of manufacture here. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is the original. This is when it was owned by Lynn Thompson and Company. And then they sold it, at least the name, to that conglomerate. And then that's what generation this is. This is the newer one. I've had this for a year, maybe, about a year. And I believe with that dagger in there, if you can see it. Anyway, it's the newer generation, or the newer, umbrella. 4.65 ounces. Sorry. So 0.25 of an ounce lighter, 1/4 ounce lighter than which is amazing because this one actually feels lighter. Okay, so construction wise, let's do that real quick. Solid G10, no liners. Triad locks on both. Big beefy lock there. Lock face, I should say. Stop pen, triad. Okay, and then probably an aluminum or a G10 backspacer. G10, I would say. Maybe it's plastic, but so GT handles, no liner, lock back, triad lock. Okay, see if we can get it good. And then the kind of a standard issue cold steel pocket clip. And then you can see the structure on the G10, the grain. Okay. Now this is fiberglass reinforced, or FRN scale probably, or they call it Tough X. I can't remember something. It's their plastic nylon fiber reinforced, for fiberglass reinforced nylon or something for this grip. And you can see the structure on it, kind of Maltese crosses or iron crosses or whatever. Triad lock. Okay. And then nice thin aluminum liners. So it's fully lined if I can get in there and see. Yeah. It's dirty. I'll wipe the blades off, but they're both kind of dirty. And then your 3-hole pocket clip. A little bit different, but same idea. Okay. Very comfortable in hand. This is how I naturally grip it. Just like this. I think it's better than a finger choil. You could also grab it back here. Reverse grip. Okay. So what do we know so far? Well, not much. Try to get to that. And as far as this goes, Ergo is pretty good. Nice long handle, especially for the blade length. Forward, kind of a finger choil up here. I still naturally want to grab it like that. Okay, so let's get into the differences in the manufacturer. Now, I don't know. I'm assuming these are made in the same factory, but maybe under different quality control or specifications or needs, or, you know, quality control is a little bit lighter now, because everything on this knife is just a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more rounded. Even that the lock bar back here is actually, the edge is knocked off. I can't say it's chamfered per se, but it's definitely knocked off. It's not sharp at all. Whereas on this knife, it's very sharp. I mean, you could shave wood with that. All right, so that's something. So I don't know what the older Ultimate Hunters were like. I'm just saying that's what this one is like. All these edges are very sharp. And this jimping up here, which I don't like, just seems like a bad idea. I just don't know why you have to put jimping right where the web of your hand lies, or anywhere for that matter. But I digress. So all these edges are sharp as well. Not overly bad. Probably not a lot of huge difference between it and other manufacturers, such as Spyderco here. It's kind of another little comparison. Okay. Yeah, these edges are pretty sharp. At least it's got that the boy dent there. It's not as sharp as this one, but it's sharper than this one. And then these are very sharp. Yeah, these are kind of sharp, not bad. Even that point, actually that point's not even bad right there. Whereas on this guy, you get that point, it's definitely, I'm just saying, you know, if you're out in the woods using their knife all day, you're going to notice this kind of thing. All these edges in here, all these routed holes are not routed out. And then the other thing I noticed on this pivot is it's kind of sharp too, because it's sunk in there under the G10. It is what it is. Whereas this one kind of is, it just seems a lot softer. So as is, the Voyager is just a more comfortable knife. Okay, so let's talk about ergonomics. I mean, this is a sleeper, cold steel sleeper, I think, in my opinion. People sleep on it. I think it's extremely comfortable. Excellent cutter. Great slicer. Stain resistant. You know, if you were to get your hands on a Carpenter BD1 or the OS 10A, both of them are very good steels. Good edge retention on both of them. And then the stain resistance is good. I can't say it's better than some others, but I've had no problems with any cold steel knife for that matter, any of their stainlesses. So this one is good, right? I still prefer the Voyager. Okay, ergonomics wise, all around. Maybe in some other grips, if you're whittling, maybe this is a little bit better. but this is not bad at all. I've had this longer, I've used it more. So aesthetically though, I just think this is a better looking knife, you know? Like you'd probably be more apt to break this out at some kind of a function. Still, it's a big guy, big dog, but it's just a little less brutal than the big old clip pointed curved Voyager handle there. Now you can get this in a Tonto. I believe you can still get this in a Tonto, and then a drop point. And I can't speak to those because I don't have them. But if the drop point version is still just as slicey as this one, I mean, that's an option. You might look into that. This one always comes with a drop point that you can get with a black handle. Okay. And I've seen some videos where guys, actually a lot of videos where guys have put in a bit of work just to kind of sand these handles down. Maybe knock this point down a bit, knock these edges off, and then knock the edges off that lock bar. Down the road, I might end up doing that. I don't think I've ever modified a handle. I've modified blade grinds, and that's another thing. Both of these blades are theoretically the same thickness, and they're both really good slicers. This one is superior by what percentage, I can't say. Definitely a better slicer. This is a great slicer though. So full flat ground, and this kind of got a saber grind on it. Thumb studs are out of the way. Thumb studs are out of the way for sharpening on both. Well out of the way. Not going to get into your cutting path. And to be honest, depending on what you slice, I don't cut a lot of food. You know, if I'm eating fruit, I just eat it whole. So I don't slice up apples. I just don't do it. If I did it, it would be in the kitchen for my mom for an apple pie. But slicing wood, I definitely prefer either one of these and this more. This one slices well, but it just doesn't seem to have the power or something to go through knots and whatnot that these have. And going through knots, this one actually might be better. But as far as just cutting, I'd go with this one. So if you're in the market for an Ultimate Hunter, if you've been looking at it, this is an option. $60, $110. Probably get it for a little less. Maybe you can get this for a little less. I think that's pretty much the going rate. At least on Blade HQ, this was for sure $59. I think these are 110. If you're going to get a standard Endura, you're looking at around 100, I think, somewhere in that range. This is the M4 version. Can't remember how much I paid for it. I think I like it. It's pretty cool. So carry wise, you know, this one's going to be lighter weight, definitely lower profile in the pocket, easier to carry. I prefer that clip by far. If you're just going to do a comparison here, I just put this in there because it is a lock back. Slicey, maybe this one cuts food better. I can't say, but maybe I can't see it cutting any better than this. And this is just these things are just a beast. It's just kind of a big dog in the pocket, but not a whole lot bigger all the way around than this. You know, maybe this dimension here I think is like maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, and then this is smaller. Now to bring in the big guns, out of all these knives, if I had to choose, this is the Presidio 2 by Benchmade, and this is the one with the, what is it, the CF Elite handle, which I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I actually think it's actually better than the aluminum handle. It's probably lighter weight. Just a beautifully constructed handle. I mean, just picking this thing up, I'm like, God, what have I been missing out on? How did I forget about this? But it's perfect ergos. Dare I say it's as comfortable as a fixed blade handle if you have a good fixed blade handle. Yeah, to me, I don't use a fixed blade a whole lot, but better pocket clip, though I do prefer their regular 3-hole pocket clip as opposed to, I don't like these deep ones. They seem to flex a lot in your hand, but whatever, you know. S30 blade steel, about twice as much at least as all these. They're sub $200, but You know, like I said, this is somewhere around 100, this is 110, this is 60. So out of all of them, dollar for dollar, this one even over the Presidio too. I mean, you want to spend, I think these might be like 180 bucks. Maybe they've gone up. It's for 60. You could have 3 of these for the price of that. Better knife all the way around. Theoretically a stronger lock, but you know, as far as convenience goes, you can't beat the axis lock for quick in and out. I'd go with that one. Between these two, you know, like I said, I think this has the potential to be the better ergonomic handle. Maybe, I don't know. This is, I mean, I have no problem with that one at all. It's powerful. But maybe this is. Put a little work into it. I do like that blade shape. That's kind of another reason why I busted this out. Kind of a similar drop point, though this is just a little bit more acute, a little bit less of an abrupt rise on that tip area. A little bit better penetrator probably. But I do like that. I also like that little drop point there. But between the two of them, man, it's up to you. Just take a look. Because a lot of it has to do with what it looks like, you know? And how it feels in hand. And how it carries. And how it cuts. God, I still think this is the better all-around knife, except for maybe in the looks department. Must say, though, Andrew Demko designed this knife and designed the lock on both of these. And I don't think he designed the Voyager because I think that's an old Lynn Thompson design. I think this might be the second iteration. I think the original looked close to this, but it didn't have the triad lock. It just had a regular lock back. And that triad lock is the kicker here. All right, that's all I got. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you got any opinions on or which one do you prefer over the other, I'll get that out of there. Put it in the comments. Or if you think there's another cold steel sleeper out there. Y'all have a good one.